just test this. So we've put a belt on. I'm going to put it on quick. Let it fill the water. Ready. Stupid thing. Right, now it works. So let that fill up with water. Must let the belt settle, I think. So we put a replacement belt on. And the old one was very stretching compared to the new one. Well, it's actually not new, actually. But yeah, it was a good inch longer than the other one. And this is an inch shorter. And that's a huge difference on the stretch belt. Hear it a little bit now. Should go. I'm not saying that. Oh, well, it seems like an eternity messing around. I think I've got it. Yes, I got it. Woo! And it sounds as daft as this. When I put the new belt on, I put it in the middle where it last was. But this seems to be incorrect. It actually had to go on one spline backwards on the motor. Which means that the belt now runs more towards the edge of the pulley rather than in the middle. But it's not the noise. Yep, that'll do. Right, I'll put on the spin. Right, let's test this bush out then. What we want. So I'm going to put it on synthetic 60 to test the heater. Right. So, got this a couple of years ago. Fine after got some water. Got this a couple of years ago. About 2 years ago, I think. 3 years ago. Oh, I can't remember. For about, I think it's 20 quid. Anyway, you're tripping electric. We're only not about 10 minutes into the wash, so it's probably a heater. So I changed the heater, and then that was it. It just kind of sat around doing nothing. Didn't even touch it. Mind you, on synthetics, it starts heating after about 3 minutes rather than 10 like it normally does with the other cycles. So that should be quite good to kind of test. But it's been sat around ever since. This drawer was sat inside the drum and it started yellowing while it's been sat inside the drum. Go figure that one out. sound of the motor on this. It sounds bordering on a bit GEC. Alright, leave it going. Hope it doesn't trip. Right, just stopped. It'll be now deciding to heat, I think. So it should be now heating. Hasn't immediately tripped. That's a good thing. And it's already getting warm. It was the heater, by the sounds of things. Right, let's test this Swan SW2022W. Bought for a tenner. I'm sure I bought it because it was leaking. I think that's the reason. And she said it was there banging as well. Or making a racket. But the top lid wasn't even on the machine. It was on the machine, but not actually attached to the machine. So it was just basically flopping about on spin. Yeah, that will make an absolute racket. This isn't actually a Swan either. Well, sort of. It's got a Swan door, Swan top fascia, and drawer. But if you look on the back, it says Logic. So this has been a mishmash put together. Once more, I had to take the whole front off because when I went to take the filter out, it didn't come out and the front came off the filter. So I had to disassemble it to get the filter out properly. To find plastic in, of course. That was the reason why. But, more alarmingly, the earth leads to the motor has been cut off. You can see where it previously leaked and where the leak had came from. The tub's been repaired, basically. And it was quite a large crack as well. It's a big crack and it looks like it's been properly welded and then they put sealant over, but the sealant's come off. And where it's been leaking on the motor, that's probably what was causing it to trip. But I'm wondering, so how long has it been de-earthed for? But it also looks like it's now leaking from the heater around, like, the seal of the heater. So we're going to put it on rinse and spin first, let it fill up with water. So the way water tends to work as well is if the crack or that seal on the heater's gone, let's say, is that it will leak as the water starts building up. That's interesting as well. That's got that indicate noise, but that's a Cellini motor. That's a Cellini motor too. I'm sure they both are. I can't actually remember what was wrong with it. Unless it was just making a horrendous racket. That's a half a tub full of water. If it was leaking, it should be leaking by now. Okay, we'll put that under in the spin. I'm going to see from there. Maybe just drain. Oh, there is a pool of water, as it turns out. I just lifted it. It's not that hard. But anyway. Front half's fine. It's the rear half that's leaking from somewhere. Yeah. See what I mean? Let's see what I mean by, say, this earth wire here. Although saying that, I can probably get a spade crimped onto it, pull it back in. I'm sure it goes in there. Can't tell where it's coming from actually. Not properly. Okay, I'm going to test something a bit differently before. I'm not going to put any more water in. The heat I think would be fine anyway. But I'm going to test the front weight for noise. So I'm going to get some towels, wet them, and then put them in the washer. Put them on spin. Ow. Right, let's test this then. It's another Bosch 6 kilo, 1200 spin, but it's got a slightly different model number. It's WMDF612W. And instead of extra rinse, you get anti-allergic. Yes. There's more on that later on. This should be fully working. Now, I bought both this and the Hotpoint 9570 at the same time. Because actually, the listing was for... I saw the I'll tell you how funny it was. So basically, the listing had had the drat ear as the main picture on Facebook. But it also had this, and they were both being sold together. as one item basically. So I bought both. So oddly enough, I went just to go get the dryer. Well, I knew I was getting this, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't have actually just bought it had I just wasn't getting the dryer. Right, stick a bit of Daz in and see how it does on Cotton 60. It's only 3 years old now. It was actually 2 when I bought it, but that was 8 months ago, so... Daz 60 daily 60. Going. When the other bus drains, I'll put some towels in later to you. Yeah, that pump's really ropey. I'll change the pump over. Right, so that's heated to about 60. That's not just quite. That's on its first intermediate spin. fair to say this bus was fine. Definitely needs a pump. Don't know what's going on with this. It does it normally. It's done it once before. It kind of did this, and I thought that the airways filter had overfilled, so I emptied the filter, reset, and it kind of ran fine as long as I emptied the filter. However, this time the filter isn't full. Let me just show you. See? It's empty. Well, I think there may be another issue with this. Possibly overheating? So we'll let that run again. the time goes on a lot longer. But it looks like it started after about maybe 10-15 minutes. Right. Let's test this bush then. This is more of a quick test because it will be... So what happened was I sold this 4 months ago to a family friend, or shall I say, basically it was my cousin's ex. They split up, I fitted this, then they got back together, so it's just come back. It should hardly have been used in the 4 months that it's been in use. So it's just a matter of just quick. I'll just let wash and dry 1 hour. Make sure that I'm not going to test the heater because it's more just the dryer bit. With it being a washer dryer. And obviously it's sort of the functionality. I'll test the actual heater more later on. And kind of clean it out a bit before I put it back up for sale. Simply because, you know, I'll do that after 5 today. We've got 12 in a minute, so 10 to 1. I've got all the stuff to test, so there we go. This should be fine. Let's check out this Beko DWD5410. It's getting on a bit, actually. Let's put it that way.
This came off the street. Notice there's no cutlery baskets, although looking at the shape of the bottom rack, it's the same as a Bosch. So Bosch one, I've got a spare Bosch one, so that will sort of fit in there if it needs one. Right. There's no water in it. The filters look quite good actually, you know, as in there's nothing in it. Little tiny bits. Wash blades are looking okay, I think. Maybe. I don't know, we might have to just see how we go. Look at the top wash blade on it. Yeah, it's looking alright. Nothing in it. Does it turn on? Will do if I. So it needs reinside and salt, completely out. Switched on. We'll put it on quick and clean 60, make sure it heats first. Or does everything. It looks like it's never had salt actually, ever. So we'll see how it goes on. But the local area where this came from, it should have very sort of relatively soft water. So if you're using 3-in-1s, you would actually keep the line scale pretty much down to next to nothing. That's why we can get away in this area. Running no salt in our dishwashers for 15 years and nothing like them with them. Now, another thing as well, just going back to the Bosch, which is obviously working fine. I'm just going to say this, the Bosch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of wash races with it with a new a vessel brush. I think that's the idea. And then I'll put it back up for sale. Actually, it might fit it against there's a Logic washer dryer there as well. So, just as a quick look, washing and it's heating as well. So at the minute, they're doing pretty alright. Talking of heating, Dryer's still working on this as well. Becca just drains happily. Anyway, onto this then. It's a Hotpoint Aquarius Plus FDPF 481 in black, 14 place dishwasher. Bought it from auction at the same time as the Garenia. So it might be working, might not, don't know. They all get sold as C nowadays, so there's no guarantee on working order anymore. But it turns on. It was set to the plate one, which is that one. 1 hour 5 tabs. I'll take that off 1 hour. So yeah, it's same as the Beko was set, like a 1 hour cycle. Both have rapid cycles, like a 25-minute wash there, look. Same with the Beko. I like this, it's actually got a nice weighty door to it. Might need oiling up a bit. Anyway, take a look. Bottom wash blade looks fine. The filter's pretty much empty. Top blade. Absolutely fine by the looks of things. Looks like I kind of like it. God, it is weighty. I like that. Right, I'll put it on in a minute. Wait for one of these to finish first, and I'll put it on. Right, so the Bosch wash dryer. Done, fully working, and considering it only has about 40 minutes to dry there, extremely hot. That kind of shows a little bit something then, because when you do a wash and dry, I wonder if the dryer is taking into account, obviously it gets preset at 800 rather than 14. Anyway, Beko is currently doing nothing, so we'll just go with the fact that it's probably in drying mode actually. And move on to the Hotpoint, so we're going to put it on 6. That one. Rebecca's just finished. I'm making a bit of a noise. Yeah. I would say it's stone cold, but like it's stone cold at the front, it's actually sort of warm there and warm at the sides. Working alright now. Right. Right. Let's see if this lodge. So what I've done is taken the back weight off. That's all done. Put the belt back on. Drum now. Spins freely. Oh, I took the filter out initially, like when we got this, and I don't know where to put the filter. I found a different filter. I think it fits. So, anyway, we're going to put on wash and dry. 40. I'm going to try something. I mean, actually, yeah, like, that's not actually leaking. That's good. So the filter's not leaking. The filter put in alright. I don't think it's the correct one. I'll just turn it off. Yeah. Can't change dryness. Now I can't change temperature. How odd. It's like it's stuck at the minute. Hang on. So now the door's unlocked. Can I change it now? Yeah. Weird. Anyway, the timings on this are completely different to the Bosch ones. Right, selecting 40 on this adds 20 minutes to the wash. So it probably heats 240, unlike the Bosch. Bosch is selectable at 40, but if you change it like to cold or 20, it won't change the time, and the wash only lasts 5 minutes. I reckon this time the wash will last 20 odd minutes, just so we can get to 40. Anyway, we'll film this a little bit once we get the concrete, well, the back weight back on. About a minute, just testing this, make sure everything else functions, including the dryer. I mean, this is the back weight off the back of the drum. It's got the front weight on. The front weight's not covered in plastic, or rubberized, or whatever you want to call it. The only bolt that was left on was this one. So all I'm going to do is going to find some bolts that are exactly the same. I've taken quite a lot of concrete weights off other medium machines, so I'm hoping that some of these bolts will fit. And put them back on. It looks like they've basically come off over time. Probably not tightened properly from factory, I reckon, and then they've just sort of come away. Right, so the whole point's only got about 4 minutes left, and it's still washing. Ta-da! Yep, we're all done there. Right, so we're on drain now for the spin. Then we'll go on to dry. Anyway, we're in dry mode. I think I found the, I want to try that cap next. I think that's the one. The alarm's going off. That's actually to the building. We have the security here. Burglar security. So, must be one of the officers upstairs that's tripped it. Maybe the window's tripped it. It is very windy out. That is really hot. All done. So we know it fully works. So all I've got to do is just get that back weight on, although I'm kind of looking at it going, what's the back weight for? Right, let's test this again for the 77th time. So, quick backstory on this. It came in, it needed these brushes doing 5 cycles later than the heater blew, 2 cycles later than it started tripping electric. Unplugged the heater, unplugged the motor, unplugged the door lock, unplugged it. Because bear in mind, it will trip the moment you switch it on. Let me just show you. It's going to earth. So, got that cable. Ready. So, what I've done is change the suppressor to a working one that I know works. The only last thing to do is change the board. Ready? Ready? Hooray! Didn't trip the electric. So I've got EO5, which would make sense. Because now nothing's plugged in. There's no pressure sensor, there's no door lock, there's no heater, there's no motor. So what I'm going to do is plug them in one by one and keep turning them on. If it still trips at that point, then we can know where to go. Ready? So, switch off. That's the pressure switch in first. Switch on. Right. Pressure switch. Fine. Let's plug in the door switch. Door lock. Switch on. God, it's a bit of a clunk when it does that. Well, it looks like it's locked it straight away, which is a bit weird. Because that's now locked. Bit of an odd one, especially as the lock light isn't up. Right, I'll plug the rest in. So that's the door lock, pressure switch. Let's see, we've got the pressure switch, door lock's put in. I guess the next is the motor. And then the final one will be the heater itself. There's no circuits at all on the heater. The NTC's been removed completely, which is probably what's causing the door to lock straight away. So it will now think it's at 100 degrees C or 95 degrees C or whatever you want to call it. Very cool. Right, okay. So what we're going to do with the heater is put a new one in. There was a new one in, like I just said, but that new one was taken out and then put into another Hoover. So I got a brand new one ready to go in. So I'll fit that, put that on, switch it on, and we should be okay. Right. And then we'll run a quick spin test, and then we'll leave it, and then I'll finish rebuilding the machine. Put the lid back on, put the back on, you know. But EO5 to do with the NTC. Start. Okay, so motor runs. So what we're going to do is put all that together. And get it back going again. I'm just going to add this to the testing video. It really needs to be documented. That has no back weight on it. That isn't even level. And that is spinning perfectly okay. What's the back weight for? I'm going to leave the back weight off, to be honest. This can spin perfectly fine. Well, it's not being level. I'm going to just level it up a bit. Oh, the actual thing is loosened. But even so, that's it? What's the point of that back weight? So normally, weights are normally put on to counteract other weights. So they're normally put on to level the drum up, otherwise if you take it off it normally falls backwards or forwards or something like that. Because of the motor. But in this case, it hasn't done anything. Weird. Well, I suppose that's a win. It's very good, actually. Very good.